Hello. Today's video is just going to be a talk about creativity. What kind of keeps us from being creative? And what I've found in the past few months of doing music on YouTube has helped me. Lessons I've learned, things that really are just, I think, really something I see in a lot of the comments and a lot of the subscribers to the channel, that I do my best to check you guys out and see what you're up to and encourage you. And I see a lot of myself in your channels. This is not the first time I ever really did YouTube. Years, a couple decades ago, I had a YouTube channel. Still up, I'm not going to tell you what it is. And I had little spurts where I would do music and then go in all different directions. Just, it was a creative outlet. And when I found that I didn't get the response that I needed, or I just kind of succumbed to overthinking, self-criticism, I would just fall off. And in the end, I always kind of, deep down part of me kind of regretted that a little bit. I mean, I definitely felt a little frustrated with myself for not being consistent and not sticking with it. But it's just very easy in this day and age to give in to those doubts. I mean, if you watch TV or follow any politics or anything, like, all that stuff is designed to divide and conquer, to make you frightened, to make you angry, to feel desperate, hopeless. And that's going to kill your creativity. I find one of the best things that helped me was, years ago I turned off the TV, and I go through bouts of, YouTube was pretty much the only social media that I really involved myself with. And depending on what pops up at my feed and what I click on any given day really has a huge effect on just my whole life that day. I can quickly go into a downward spiral thinking about the state of the world, or getting frustrated, angry at this group or that one, or the injustice in the world. It's very easy, and that's all very low vibrational energy, which it's just kind of where they want you, because at that point you're easy prey. So how do we overcome? How do we heal that? How do we avoid that? And once again, this is not scripted. I'm just kind of ranting. But I felt the need to talk about this, because it's something I've noticed a lot in the past few months. Since I've been doing music on YouTube, only a few months now, I've been lucky enough to gain a handful of really nice subscribers, blah, blah, blah. We talk about that a lot, but I'm learning a lot from you guys. And like I said, I see myself in you so much. There's some very talented people out there, and for me, sharing with others was always the most difficult thing, because I always, just insecure. I wasn't good enough, or I judged myself against what other people were doing. I said, when I get to this point, then I'm going to, and that's just a bunch of bullshit. But something happens a few months back. I just kind of got tired of being frustrated with myself. And any of you who have watched any of my previous videos, I think I talked about this before, but my father was a really talented artist that never really did what never followed his passion. He was a pretty bitter man, and it wasn't until later in life that it kind of got rekindled, and then he chilled out and actually learned to love him. And I've learned so much from having him as a father. He was a great man, sacrificed a lot for his family, but it wasn't until much later in life that he started to focus on himself. And that was the one thing that kind of brought him peace. Even though he did the right thing, took care of his family, he wasn't the best of an influence when I was younger because he wasn't happy. So I think if you really want to heal yourself and heal the world, which is part of why this video is coming out, because the world's in a world of hurt right now. I think the best thing that you can do is really start to focus on yourself. And I didn't really learn this until much later in life, and it's really only been the past few months of me posting on YouTube that I'm starting to accept who I am, my strengths, my weaknesses, and not really care so much about the outcome. I have been doing a lot of music, and that's not everything comes out on camera, believe me. I don't film everything, but I am creating almost daily, which has been amazing for me. I'm feeling so much better about myself because I'm giving myself time every day to stop thinking and just start vibing, feeling, getting in the flow, and letting whatever comes out come out without expectations of what it's going to get me, how it will be perceived. If you've been watching my channel at all, you know I'm kind of all over the place. I'm not really, I try not to get stuck into any one thing. I really love ambient stuff. I love all kinds of things. And on any given day, you may see or hear something completely different from me. And I think the reason that this whole talk is coming out, because this has been on my mind a lot. I've been thinking in trying to grow a channel, because I will say it feels really nice to get a community, something that I didn't realize that I was missing and needed the support. I don't think that we can all do this on our own. We're all deep down the same person. We all bleed the same color. We all care about a loved one if they get sick or something happens. We all struggle. But at the same time, it's really beautiful when you can find encouragement from others. And I want to be able to give that back, because I see some really talented people out there, and I know what you're going through, because I go through it every day doing this YouTube thing and trying to make videos. I'm like, what am I going to do? Are people going to like this type of music? Should I go this way, that way? And I keep coming back to, you just have to do what brings you joy. You have to stop thinking and stop worrying about the outcome and just embrace the process. And in that sense, the more I do that, the more confidence I'm gaining, the more I like myself as a person and can accept myself. I'm okay with making mistakes. There is not one piece of music that I've put on YouTube that is perfect and that I don't have regrets on. I wish I did this differently. But I'm much quicker to let that go and just accept that that's who I am and who I was at that moment when I created that piece. And that's totally okay, because by consistently exercising that muscle, I'm learning to love myself so much more. And I'm learning to become a lot more conscious of just that negative self-doubt, that, that chatter that's always there, the monkey mind. And being a lot more conscious, even just walking down. So yesterday I'm walking in crazy, busy Osaka, Japan. It's hot as hell out here. And there's so many people. It was a Saturday, today's Sunday. And I'm just so frustrated with all these people. I'm like, tourist. I'm like, dude, you were a tourist not too long ago. It's only been a while, a little bit since you've lived here. And I just kind of caught myself like, where's the frustration coming from? What is it? And I realized that, like, the past few days I've just been thinking about how I can just overanalyzing things too much, as opposed to just enjoying the process. I'll do a video. We're gonna chill out a little bit. I'll do a video and I'll sit back and be like, oh, did anybody watch this? Does anybody like it? Have I got any comments? And I started to let that kind of get me a little bit. And it's really not important. The thing that I've gained the most from doing this is just allowing myself to be in the flow state, just to feel whatever I'm feeling that day. And that's just been incredibly, incredibly healing, because as opposed to bottling up these emotions, you get to flush them out and create space for something else. And in feeling something, you face it and you release it. And we're all very burdened with life. Like I said, life is not easy, man. It's a struggle. Show me somebody that just says, oh, this is a piece of cake. And like, it's not. The reality is, yeah, you have to work at things. You have to put the effort in, but it's really in what you focus on. If you focus on allowing yourself a little bit of time to explore what makes you happy, your bliss. Doesn't matter where you're at. Doesn't matter how good you are at it. It's just the fact that you're allowing yourself the time to explore it, to feel it, to be in that vibe. I said this before, like, I think when I do music, it's kind of like prayer. It's kind of like meditation. And right now, I think it's, with all the social media stuff, like, I grew up before all of this stuff. And I kind of feel a little adverse to it. I don't really want to partake in it too much. Though I have found it to be a very beautiful outlet. And one that I always wanted to kind of, for other reasons. I wanted the accolades. They're like, oh, he's good, he's this, that. It's not about that for me at the moment. It has really been a big avenue for self-discovery and healing. And I keep coming back to this, but music is very therapeutic. And if there was a time when I mean, I know there is. When you get into music, art, it doesn't matter what your discipline, but you start to create and you feel a certain something. You get into the flow and time just passes. And you create something of beauty, whether it's dark or light or uplifting, or you create and express something that was internal, that was invisible, and you brought it into the physical world. And there's a sense of accomplishment with that. There's a sense of freedom because, as I say, you released that emotion. And that passion that was initially sparked it's very easy for us to let daily life and just the struggles of existence to kind of beat you down and take you away from that and forget that you have the power within yourself to heal yourself. And a lot of it comes from that self-acceptance. I mean, that's the biggest thing that I think this has done for me is I'm okay with where I'm at with music. I know I'm not perfect. I repeat a lot of the same type of things. I'm not a virtuoso on any instrument. At this point, I haven't played the one instrument I was very good at, drums. I really haven't played that in forever. I make beats and stuff, but yeah, that's not the same, you know. I'm learning to express myself in a different way. And for me, this whole process of going doll-less has just been really nice because it's very immediate and I don't get overcome with what I'm going to create. I just kind of get inspired by what this piece of equipment that I'm sitting in front of can do. And I just start to get into it. And in that process, I'm growing every day. I'm learning my equipment much better. But I'm being able to express myself daily. Like I say, whether I do a video or not, I'm getting that emotion out of me. I'm feeling, not thinking. And I think that is, I think, I know that that is what held me back, is just overanalyzing, analysis paralysis. That's one of the reasons why I'm shying away from working in the DAW, because too many options. And just working with one or two pieces of gear or the big rig that I have over here that I'm working on a live set towards, it's different. It's different. I'm just responding to that piece of gear, playing on its strengths, what I know how to do with it. And when I come across a little stumbling block, yeah, then I may have to break out a manual. I may have to do some education, some thinking, some learning. But for the most part, I just get inspired by what these pieces do. And it's much easier now that I'm doing this almost on the daily. I can get into a flow state relatively quickly, and it just takes away the stress. I mean, like, I don't know how to say, pardon me, I like myself a lot more. I'm not carrying around all this baggage because I'm unloading it daily. And even though I may not always perform to a level that I want, or there's always somebody who you're going to be inspired by on YouTube or something you see, your live performer or whatever, that you aspire to be. But it's okay to be who you are in the moment. And by allowing yourself to do that and having the courage really to put it out there, you're facing a huge fear and you're gaining strength every time that you do that. It's a self-acceptance. And the one thing I think we really all need is to really learn to love ourselves. Like I said, it is hard to be a little selfish, and I don't think selfish is a bad word. I think it's very important to focus on yourself. And like I said, this world is not made for that. I keep going back to they, big brother, they want you low vibration, you know? And so nothing, if you look at the news, nothing's really uplifting. Or if it is, it's this tiny little tiny segment at the end of everything. Avoid that. I'm not saying if you're an activist or blah, 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 just, you gotta turn the noise down. You gotta stop succumbing to the outside low frequency and search for the peace within yourself, and take the time to nurture that. And for me, really, it's about getting in the flow state, just sitting down and creating. It's what you need. It's what the world needs. If we all spend a little bit more time nurturing our soul, raising our own personal frequency, we all resonate. We attract what's inside. You want your life to change? Clean up your mind. Really, work on yourself. Treat yourself with love. Respect yourself. Take the time to care about who you are. Do what you love. And that's the best way to not only heal yourself, but heal the bigger collective. The more of us that can actually do this, you radiate a different energy. You don't walk around the street angry. If you actually kind of like who you are, that comes across. And if you only inspire one person, that's great. There's the butterfly effect. It's better to inspire than to not. The sense of community that I've found on YouTube has been pretty amazing. And I think the reason I made this video is just for some of you who actually make it all the way through to see this or take the time to watch. I hope you find some inspiration. You're all really talented. You all can make beautiful music. Like I said in previous videos, there will be somebody who likes what you do. There will be an audience. And if it takes a long time to get there, that's okay. The main person that you need to inspire is yourself. And in doing that, you become a beacon of hope for others. And you heal yourself. There's enough crap in the world. We need to focus on ourselves. Change comes from within. So, I know it was a long one. Hope this finds you well. I hope this didn't bore the shit out of you. And I hope you gained some value in it. And go make some music. Go make a painting. Write something. Take a walk. Be nice to somebody. Check out somebody's channel and give them some words of encouragement. Like I said, we're all in this together. And the only way we're going to make it through is if we stick together. All right, y'all. Be nice to yourself. Be nice to others. Love you all. Have a good day.